Everybody, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for the week of the 18th of September 2013. Like I just said, thank you for joining me here. Got some DC and Marvel books to review. Now, as far as if you watched my Comic Haul preview on my Blugoblin01 channel, you would know I also had some back issues to review. I will get to reading those immediately after I finish filming this review. And once I get those books read, and plus a couple of books I need to read for Dark Avenger Inc. Plus, I will do those reviews as quickly as I can. And I need to make two more announcements. Announcement number one, I need to make an announcement about my next live video, my next live Q&A session, if you will. I am planning on doing one on October 1st, the first of the month. Now, don't hold me to that, okay? I would love to do a live video on the 1st, but, you know, I just hope that, you know, nothing comes up, you know, last minute where I might have to cancel. So, you know, don't get too excited, but that's when I want to do my next live Q&A session. On the 1st, when I find out for sure if I've got nothing that I need to get done, if I can, you know, by that time, if I can find out if I do indeed have the free time to do a live video, then I will be sure to let you know. I will post a teaser video saying yes, I will be doing it, or I'll have to post a teaser video saying that unfortunately I will not be doing it. But I got my heart set on the 1st of October, and as of right now, I don't know if I'm going to do it here or at Jennifer's house or what. But that's the next date I got in mind, okay? And as far as for my second announcement, I'm going to let that wait until the very end of this video. So be patient, and trust me, it's worth the wait. So yeah, got a lot of books to cover here. Like I said, just DC and Marvel this time. No independence this week. I'm sorry. All right, we're gonna start off with DC. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 books, and we got 4 books from Marvel. All right, we're gonna start DC off with Holy Nostalgia, Batman. Batman 66, issue number 3. Yep. The Joker sees red and Batman scrambles Egghead. Oh, this was good. This was really good. Jeff Parker, Joe Quinones. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. I'm sorry. This was great. I mean, this was really great. I love how this issue, like the other two, opened up like a classic Adam West episode. An ordinary day in Gotham City, but what's this? Yeah, it's like when you read this dialogue, especially from the narrator, you hear that voice. You almost want to see, but wait, the worst is yet to come. You know, stuff like that. You want to hear that stuff. This was fantastic. We get 2 big debuts in this particular book from the Adam West universe, as I'd like to call it. The first one, I mean, obviously the cover kind of gives it away when it says the Joker sees red. This is the 1966, Adam West version arrival of the Red Hood. That's one. The other debut, I can't spoil it. I can't. But when I saw who I saw when Batman and Robin go to visit Joker in the Arkham Institute. It's called Arkham Institute in this book. But when they go to visit Joker, there's a certain someone that they run into before they are taken to Joker's cell. I can't do it. I can't spoil it. You have to buy this book. You have to read this book and see for yourself. You have to. Trust me. It's worth your time and it's worth your money just for that alone. But to see the Cesar Romero Joker in modern print, in modern day storytelling with that classic taste of the 1966 style storytelling when it comes to Batman, this was just an awesome treat. It's corny, it's campy, but goddamn it, is it good. It is really, really good. Fantastic writing, good plot twist. This is another perfect example of, where you read it, you see it, you hear it. It's that good. Now the second story with Egghead, I wasn't too crazy about that one. Sure, it had the ridiculous escape, had one of those ridiculously impossible escape plans that Batman and Robin were known for in the old TV show. But the second story involving Egghead kind of disappointed me a little bit. Not so much as storytelling, but in terms of artwork. The artwork for the second story wasn't really up to par, was not nearly up to par with the first story involving Joker and Red Hood. The artwork for the second story was really disappointing because Egghead looks absolutely nothing like Vincent Price in the second story. It's just really, really insulting to the character. Egghead, it was Vincent Price. Had a very distinctive look to it. Had a very iconic look to it, despite how horrible a villain he was. But still, an iconic look like that, and it looks like you deliberately fucked it up. And I'm sorry, I have to give you a on that. But this book overall gets a huge thumbs up in my absolute recommendation. This was fantastic writing, fantastic artwork for the most part, mainly the first story, but just pure awesomeness all round and round. If you were a big fan of the Adam West TV series, if that was the Batman that you loved, if that was the Batman that got you loving the character in general, then do yourselves a favor and pick this issue up. It's well worth your time. It's well worth your money. I already spoiled the debut of the Red Hood, but the other debut in that very same story, I refuse to spoil it. Pick this book up and see who it is. I promise you, you will nerd out, just like I did. Alright, we're going to some Villains Month books here. We're going to start off with the Penguin #1. This is Batman number 23.3. Ooh, nice. This was nice. This was a great way to write a story that tells us that even though Penguin was kicked, even though he was basically, his power was taken away from him by one of his former servants, he took everything he had and even took his name and took all that power. And after Penguin gets that, and after Oswald Cobblepot gets that power back, don't you think for a second that he's weak now. Don't you think for a second that he's a pussy. This book was a perfect reminder of just that. You fuck with Oswald Cobblepot, you're gonna regret it. That's a promise. This was a great representation of that statement. This was awesome. Very, very dark. Very wrong in some respects, in a good way. Just all in all, a great, great Penguin story. Just simply great. Like I said, if I could sum this book up in one sentence, it would be, don't fuck with Penguin. Period. Awesome book, great writing, great artwork. Let me take another look at who did all this. Frank Tyree did the writing, and Christian Deuce did the artwork. Now, if I butchered those names, I apologize. But this was a solid book through and through. A must-have for any Penguin fan. I'm talking Oswald Cobblepot. If you're a Penguin fan, I would strongly recommend this book. Very strongly. This was good. This was damn good. Speaking of damn good, let's keep rolling with some damn goodness. How about some damn good rogues? Number one, this is Flash 23.3. Yeah, like I said, damn good. I've always had a special place in my heart for the Flash Rogues. Always had a place in my heart for them because they're not just a team of thieves. They're a team of superpowered thieves who have a code. They may be criminals, but they're still human. They believe that there's a code amongst them. They never leave anybody behind. It's all for one and one for all. You know, that old school credo. They stick together through thick and thin. And they do not kill. They just want power. They want to be known as the greatest criminals and not simply the greatest murderers. They want to be known as simply criminals. They have a code. They demand respect. It's so well done. Even in this one book. Is this the greatest rogue story ever told? Not really. But for what it was magnificent. This was so well done. This book had everything. It had its decent one-liners, somewhat. It had plenty of drama. The drama in here was nothing short of spectacular. Great stuff in here. It's like you would think that the members of the Rogues would carry a grudge against each other, especially a grudge against Captain Cold, since he's the one that fucked them all up and gave them these superpowers that, in a sense, kind of screwed them over. You know, Heatwave's flesh is permanently charred. Mirror Master is, for the most, you would think he was permanently stuck in the mirror world, and his sister, Lisa, aka Glider, yeah, she's like permanently in an astral projective form. Her body is in a hospital bed for God knows how long. It could be permanent. But there's a certain moment in here that really, well, more than one. There are plenty of moments in here where the Rogues really test their respect for each other, and it's so well done. There are some mentions of the Forever Evil shit with the crime syndicate and everything, but it's of so little significance in this book it really doesn't really matter. But what I read in here was awesome, very well done. The writing was good, the artwork was good, and the character development was damn near perfect. This is another Villains one-shot that I sorely recommend. This was good. If you're a Flash fan, or if you're a Flash and a Rogues fan, this is another must-have for your collection. This was really, really good. Alright, we're going to end DC with the Scarecrow, number 1. It's Detective Comics 23.3. Hold on a second. Hold on. God. Pardon me, but something reeks in here. I apologize for this pause here, but something in here really stinks. God damn. Wait a minute. Oh my God, it's this book. Yeah, it's this book. You want it? God. Yeah, it stinks. You know why? Because it's bullshit. Bullshit. Total bullshit. That was a title that I was really looking forward to because I've been loving what DC has been doing with the Scarecrow. And then I read this, and what is it? It's Scarecrow literally walking around in different parts of Gotham, talking to other Batman villains, and figuratively measuring penis sizes with them, saying, and each one of them thinks that Gotham should belong to them. It's ridiculous. Way too goddamn dialogue heavy. The artwork wasn't even that good. Poison Ivy makes a cameo in this book, and I swear to God, the way she's drawn pissed me off as a Poison Ivy fan. Why? Because she's drawn to look like a dude. Who the fuck is going to draw Poison Ivy to look like a man in drag? That's pathetic. You can do better than this. Fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This book was not only worse than the Joker one-shot was, but so far, out of all the Villains one-shots that I have read from Villains Month, that book right there, Scarecrow, is without a doubt the worst one-shot I have read. Not just a disappointment, but a flat-out insult to me and to my fucking wallet. A waste of my time, a waste of my goddamn money. DC, I want my $4 back. That book bored the shit out of me, and you know what? Fuck you. That book was crap. I feel better now that I got that shit out of my system. Let's move on to Marvel, shall we? Let's. Alright. Moving on to Marvel, we're going to start off with Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, number 31. I love this cover. This cover is corny, yet twisted, and very awesome. I love it. Now, as far as the inside story, ooh, damn, Mark, Mr. Wade, what the fuck are you smoking? Share some of that shit. Hell, I'd be willing to share that stuff with you, and I'm fucking straight edge. This was incredible. Wow. Where do I begin with this? Okay. Where do I begin? Without spoiling the ever-loving hell out of this book. Okay. I'm going to try my best not to spoil too much. Okay. The beginning of the book deals with a murder trial. And pay close attention to it because I kind of think that Marvel and Mark Waid wrote this particular issue and I just couldn't help but find a very, very eerie connection to a certain murder trial that happened not that long ago involving a kid in a hood. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. I couldn't help. I hate to bring this up because it spreads nothing but hate all around the internet and everything, but I couldn't help but make that eerie connection. But there's something that happens after the verdict is cast. The DA, I believe it's... Hang on. Let me make sure I got my facts right before I totally geek out. Let's see. The DA. It is the DA that does this. After the murder trial, we go to the exit interview, live and televised to the whole world. What the DA does literally made my jaw drop. I was looking at this. Let me reenact it for you. Yes, I'm disappointed in the verdict as most of you, which is why... Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god. But, okay, I'm gonna have to spoil this because there's something I want to point out. What the DA does after the not guilty verdict is, spoiler alert, he seemingly on live television posts the names and addresses of the jurors that distributed a not guilty verdict to what he called a racist murderer. What? The reason why I spoiled that is because there was one name on this page that made me chuckle. Let's take a look at these names. You got Damian White, Sharif Amanat, hope I didn't butcher that name because I couldn't read that one, Sally Draper, Christine Tomp, Stephen Lewis, Zachary S. Tudemeyer, Isabel Delman, Len Lemon, Kuljit Mithra, Santiago Garcia, John Powers. That name sound familiar? But the name that really made me chuckle was Alex P. Keaton. Alex P. Keaton. Wow. Hey, Mr. Wade, you a fan of Family Ties? I never knew. Yeah, but what a moment. It's just riots galore and all that shit. But that's where I'm going to end it, because Matt finds a way to deal with the riots on a temporary basis, but he finds a way to deal with it with some help. I'm not going to spoil who helped him, but for what I saw in here, I'm thinking, okay, that could work. But the last page, god damn it, the last page. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think concerning that last page. What? Oh my god, I can't. Now, I know I spoiled one of the big moments in this book, and I do apologize if I spoiled it for you, but as far as the rest of the book's concerned, I can't spoil it. I choose not to. Oh my god. Jesus. Do yourselves a favor and get on board with this series. It took a while for me to get on board, but I'm glad that I did. And I thank everybody who talked me into getting on board with Daredevil, and I owe a big thank you to Mark Waid himself for being such a damn good writer with this series. This was phenomenal. Very, very well done. Who would have thought such a campy looking yet twisted looking cover would lead to such a kind of story? This was good. This was damn good. Alright. Moving along. Infinity, Part 3 of 6. Jonathan Hickman and Jerome Opena and Dustin Weaver. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I like this series. I like this story. Why? Because it's an event the way an event should be done. No more of this bullshit of good guys versus good guys. We finally get an event from Marvel of all places where good guys fight bad guys. That's the way it should be done. It's worked for the last, 60 to maybe 70 fucking years. Why change it now? It still works. Keep doing what works. This was really good. I mean, Jonathan Hickman knows. A lot of people are saying that this event is moving slowly. I can understand that opinion, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, Hickman knows how to build something up. He knows how to build something up, and he can do it right. This was very, very well done, in my opinion. It's like the climate of the storytelling in this particular issue is the heroes are getting their asses handed to them very brutally. We don't even know how many casualties. There's like countless fatalities and casualties all throughout this issue. Nothing really big. It's like none of the heroes, I don't think, are slaughtered. It's just that planets are damaged, millions of innocent lives are lost in here. It's just, the heroes have got their backs against the wall, almost literally, to the point where where most of them are thinking, you know what, screw it. If I'm going to die fighting. And Cap actually comes up with a very, very well put out plan that actually makes the heroes think that they may have a chance to possibly win this war. They're not saying they're for sure going to win, but it gives them hope. Very, very well done. I got to admit, a lot of people are surrendering, and there's a couple of surrenders that really kind of shocked me in here, but I'm not going to spoil who that was. But I will admit, I will sit here and look at you, and I'll admit like a man, I geeked the fuck out at the ending of this issue. I'm not going to spoil what it is. I'm not going to spoil who did this, who's involved in the ending. All I will say is, oh my fucking God! The ending of this book made my eyes pop and made me nerd and geek the fuck out. I was saying stuff like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome! Holy shit, that's fucking awesome! Goddamn it, yeah, fucking yes! I mean, I was almost channeling Randy Savage, like, ooh, yeah, that's fucking good. This is fantastic. I mean, Hickman knows how to build stuff up. And I trust him that toward the end of the story, we're going to get a massive climax that is just going to make us all thankful that we paid to read it. Right, Marvel? Right? Let's hope. This was good. Really good storytelling. Slow build. A bit of an underdog rise from the heroes. And a holy fucking shit ending. This was good. So, needless to say, I liked it. Alright, moving on to The Superior Spider-Man, number 18, shit. Everybody fucks up from time to time, even me, the greatest goblin that ever lived. Superior Spider-Man, number 18, Dan Slott, Ryan Stegman. Good job. This was good. This is the continuation of Ock, meet Miguel. Miguel, meet Ock. Oh, you two... Oh, Miguel thinks he knows you, but he doesn't. This was good. This was really good. And another solid reminder that, you know what? Otto Octavius is a bit of a dick. You know what? Screw it. He is a dick. Sometimes I think to myself, this title shouldn't be called The Superior Spider-Man. It should be The Dickhead Spider-Man. The Dickhead Spider-Man. Call the patent office, I want a quarter every time somebody says it. Alright. Yeah. This was really, really good. We got two Spider-Mans fighting and bitch smacking each other and everything. All because of Tiberius Stone. Shit going on at Horizon Labs. I mean, Ock, I think, in this issue is starting to realize just how bad Peter had it when he was Spider-Man. And I think he even makes references to that in this issue. So, yeah, Ock, how's it fucking feel now to be Spider-Man? Not so good now, right? Yeah. Ock's really got his hands full with shit in here. The people up there at Horizon Labs have come up with a pretty damn clever way of trying to help Spider-Man and help their own asses and everything, and trying to expose Tiberius Stone for the fink that he is. And when you look at it from a sci-fi fantasy perspective, it does make sense. Because when you look at escapist fiction with the sci-fi twist and everything, you could actually see what goes on in here and think, yeah, this shit could happen. And it's really, really well done. You know, and Miguel has got his hands full too. He's got to not just, you know, save lives and everything. He has to save the life of his grandfather. Yeah, Tiberius Stone is his grandfather. And as much as he hates it, he's got to keep his ass alive. And I love the line that he goes in here. It's like, if anything happens to him, if he gets killed or even gets a well-placed kick to the nuts, I might not exist anymore. Yeah, I thought that was a great line. But, I mean, this issue really also, you know, like I said earlier, really shines on the fact that Ock is a dick. There was a pivotal moment in this issue where there's a scene involving a near-death experience for Liz Allen's son, Normie Osborn. You know, Harry Osborn's son. He nearly gets killed in this book. And for the most part, it's Ock's fault. Because he got reckless, he got out of control with his anger problems, and with his massive ego complex. Something happens in here that causes an accident to nearly happen. It nearly costs Normie his life. Everybody looks at Ock saying, hey, motherfucker, this is your fault. And Ock actually has the nerve to, figuratively, blame the kid and Liz Allen. As a matter of fact, because I read this scene and I went, you motherfucker. He's like, this wasn't my fault. Is he okay? Miss Allen, please understand, I would never harm a child. And then Ock says, look, if you hadn't made a play at Horizon, went after my technology, none of this would have happened, you know. And she's like, enough, I have nothing more to say to you. And I'm like, your reckless actions nearly cost a child his life, and you're going to say it's their fucking fault? Fuck you, Ock. You're better. I know you got a really bad ego, but I thought you were better than that. I'm like, that was ridiculous. But for the most part, this was a solid read. I did enjoy it. It was really, really well done. And bit of a uh-oh kind of cliffhanger at the end of the book. Very well done. I do miss Peter Parker. And I'll be ready for him to come back. But think about this. When Peter Parker comes back, he's going to have a lot of shit to catch up on. Because remember, with Otto Octavius, Peter's no longer up here. So when Marvel finally decides to bring Peter back, he's going to have a lot of shit to catch up on, and a lot of shit that Spider-Man did that he's not going to know anything about. So when Marvel finally decides to bring Peter back, I'm hoping they write the stories as to where Peter's got to not only adjust, but get caught up and get up to speed on what's going on around him. Because he's barely talking with Mary Jane anymore. He's becoming a dick to his co-workers at Horizon Labs. Hell, he's on the verge of being fired. Not to mention the fact that he seemingly got a new girlfriend that Peter's not going to know a goddamn thing about when he comes back. So, who knows what's going to happen further on down the line. But for the most part, this was a solid read. I've spoke my piece about what's wrong with it, but it's still a solid series and I still recommend it. Alright, we're going to end this with Uncanny X-Men, issue number 12, part 4 of Battle of the Atom. Battle of the Atom has been a fantastic read. It has been a fantastic story. Brian Michael Bendis is still nailing it here, like Brian Wood hit it out of the park with the last chapter with X-Men. Oh my god, this is really good. Now, Chris Bachalo is back on the interior artwork, and I gotta say, this is some of, in my personal opinion, this has got to be some of Chris Bachalo's best X-Men art. I mean, Chris Bachalo's artwork, honestly, really, really shines in this book. I mean, this is probably some of his absolute best. I mean, I loved every bit of it. It was, the artwork in here is just fantastic. I just can't get enough of it. Yeah, this is definitely got to be some of Botcholo's best art. Best work so far in a while. But young Scott and young Jean are on Utopia, which is kind of confusing because that's where they meet up with Dick Summers and his band of X-Men. But I could have swore that Dick Summers and his X-Men were at the site of the old Weapon X facility, not on Utopia. Like, when the hell did they go back to Utopia? I could have swore that their new Charles Xavier School was the site of the Weapon X building. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they moved back to Utopia or something in an X-Men title that I don't read. Maybe it happened. Maybe they showed it happening in an issue of X-Men Legacy or Extreme X-Men or something, and I just simply didn't catch it or whatever. Or maybe it's in an issue that I have and I simply forgot about it. Who knows? Shit happens. But everybody is saying, the same thing. The young X-Men, they got to go back. They have to go back. And everybody's, still pointing the finger at Hank. Well, it is Hank's fault that, he brought them here to begin with. But Dick Summers is thinking that maybe they should help them. But Emma and the rest of the team actually call him out on this, saying, "Why are you saying we should help them? Because it's basically a younger you, and it just so happens to be Jean Grey, the former love of your life, only younger, and Emma acts like a complete bitch in this book. But at the same time, her anger is kind of justified. Because when you look at it, there's an argument between Kitty Pryde and Rachel Gray, and they're arguing with the other teams of X-Men, the future X-Men and Wolverine's team. Now, Kitty and Rachel say they should go ahead and just stay here and live. Kitty and Rachel believe that the original X-Men should go ahead and stay here, while the future X-Men and everything say that they should go back. This is one of those instances in a comic book story where you see two arguments, two sides of an argument, and you can understand both sides. You can understand the feelings of the side of the argument that says they should go home, and you can also understand the side of the argument that says they should stay. You look at both sides, and you're thinking to yourself, both sides sound. I don't want to say logical. They don't both sound logical. The more logical explanation is for them to go back home. But they both have a little bit of merit to them. I guess that's how you can put it. But it's very nicely well put together. It's basically them arguing about whether they should stay or go. That takes up the majority of the issue. But the last part of this book is where shit gets very real. And it leads to a confrontation that, a cliffhanger teasing a confrontation that I kind of saw coming when the original X-Men first came back. Now, what that is, I'm not going to spoil the ending. I thought it was a really, really good dun dun dun, kind of cliffhanger, and it's very, very well done. Yes, this book is a little bit dialogue heavy, and yes, it is basically 90% of the book is just basically arguing whether they should stay or go. But Bendis does such a good job with the writing, I didn't really have a problem with it. I thought it was very, very well done, very well written, good testament to all the characters involved in here. I really, honestly, can't complain. This was very well thought out, very well put together. Chris Botcholo's artwork was fucking fantastic in here. I can't go on enough about how good this artwork was in here. I really can't. But yeah, a solid A solid A for effort, and an A plus for for artwork presentation. This was very, very good. You know, Battle of the Atom is shaping up to be a great story, and I still recommend it highly. It's not too late. If you missed out on the first 3 parts, I say pick them up. They're well worth your time, well worth a read. This is good stuff. Alright. Well, I'm done with all the reviewing here, folks. I want to thank y'all for sticking with me, and I want to thank y'all for your patience throughout my geeking out and my ranting. Now, as I said, before the beginning of the video, my next live Q&A session, I got my heart set on October 1st, but I'm not putting that in concrete as of yet. And as far as my second big announcement, I'm going to save that for after I sign off. So I want to thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, blugoblinX, and my main channel, Blugoblin01. And immediately after I turn off the camera, I'm going to get to reading my back issues, plus a couple of books from my friends at Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. Subscribe to them. Don't forget about my bro, TheMtVernonKid, Mark and Chloe at Fast Second Comics, Deadpoolzilla, Brandon Hex, and to my family at Arkham Comics, and my girlfriend Jennifer. I love you, baby. So this is Blue Goblin signing off. Until next time, everybody, I'll see you later.